This is so exciting. Guys, welcome back. So today I'm at the Chattahoochee Nature Center. It's already kind of starting to rain, so hopefully we can get around these trails. So far I've been here for a little while, but it's awesome. I just walked through. They have a little museum in there that's got turtles and fish. Right now I'm walking on their wildlife trail, and they have a great horned owl. Oh, they've had a couple. Some hawks over here. So I don't know if you guys can see, but there's two in here. There's one guy sitting up over there, and there's another guy sitting right there. So they're very, very cool. Right now during the daytime we have a great horned owl Appalachia, and so typically right now we get like the grumpy old man face because owls are nocturnal, so they want to be asleep right now. But because nature centers have such, you know, a lot of foot traffic going on, you get kind of like the squinty, like I'm trying to sleep, you know. Over here we have some red-tailed hawks. Wow, so awesome. There's a big one right there. There's also one sitting up in the little coop over there. Very cool. And so they're called red-tailed hawks because they do have that red tail. So far this is awesome. There's some more enclosures over there, so I'm gonna make my way that way. There are tons of people here, and you guys have continued to watch my videos. You know how awkward I get when there are people around, but maybe I can break that today. We'll see. All right, let's get started, y'all. I'm freaking excited. Let's do this. So here you guys can kind of see if I stand in the right direction. There's that white spot right there. So that is a barn owl. And so barn owls have a story called a ghost story. And so as you can see, he's got a white front, a white face. And so back in the early times, so of course barn owls live in barns. So way back in the day, farmers would go out into their barns at night. And of course it was at night, you couldn't really see anything, but all they could see is when they would go in there is they would see this white object and it would fly down at them. Now when barn owls screech or do their scream, it actually sounds like a woman screaming. So they thought that their barns were haunted because all they could see was this white object screaming at them. So they would burn down their barns thinking they were haunted. But it was just the barn owls. Now here, our barred owls are now watching me talk to myself. These guys are very cool. They have black eyes, which is very interesting. They look literally look just like that. There's one sitting right there, and there's one up under here too, which you may not be able to see. He's right there. We go over this way. We have some really big old turkey vultures like the ones you would see on the road. It's a big guy sitting right there. Now these guys are known as scavengers because they only eat dead things. There's a guy looking at me right there. So you'll see a lot of these guys on the road eating all of the roadkill. So even though they're kind of scary and like we think of them as being gross, they actually do a really good service for us as they take care of all of the dead animals, which is very cool. It says here, disease fighters. By eating animal remains, turkey vultures prevent the spread of dangerous diseases such as rabies and anthrax. Strong acid in vultures' stomachs kills almost all the bacteria and viruses. Very cool. All right, I'm gonna keep walking around and see what I can see, or see what I can find, I should say. And I'll fill you guys in for sure. So if you've never been to Chattahoochee Nature Center, they're located in Alpharetta, Georgia. And they do a lot of great things here. So on the drive up, when you go in and pull into the parking lot, there's a lot of construction going on. And I was here a couple of months ago to do a festival to represent Alatchi, and I was talking to a gentleman named Brian. And he was telling me that all the construction they're doing in the parking lot is that they're creating a pervious parking lot, at least one little section. And so what that allows is for rainwater to go into the groundwater instead of being shipped off into the lake. It can be stored in the groundwater. I'm out of breath. Whew. But it just helps the soil around, you know, and the plants and all that. So it's a very, very cool feature. They are also a wildlife rehabilitation center. So if you find a wild animal and it's hurt or something you don't know what to do, you can bring it here and they will help take care of it, which is very awesome. So I've kind of made it to a spot where I can walk on some of the trails. And so these are my choice of trails. We got the Forest Trail, Kingfisher Pond, Homestead Trail, Stone Cabin, and Beaver Trail Pond. There was a gentleman in the shop up there that helped me out. And so he was drawing on where I could walk. So this marking right here, so that's the one that's cut off. Okay, River Boardwalk, my bad. So this is the one that we can't go on right now because they're restoring the bridge and just restoring the entire walk itself. So we're gonna have to avoid that. So I just walked through all these little dots here. And so this is where all the outdoor enclosures are with the owls and the eagles and the vultures. And so, let's see, I'm not exactly sure where I am on this map, but down there is the Enchanted Woodlands Trail. So I think I'm gonna walk down that way and I will check in with you in a minute. All right, let's get it. So as I'm walking around, I realized I worked earlier today, and I know I'm wearing my uniform, but I think people think that I work here, and I don't. But it's just kind of funny. Everyone's like, where do we find this? And I'm like, if you go this way, I think that's where it is. But anyways, so right now I'm walking on the Enchanted Woodland Trail. And so as I said earlier, I came here for a festival to represent Alatchi for the holidays. And so on this trail, they have all of these fairy houses that people have made. I didn't realize how big they were because when I came for the festival, I was hosting a table, so I couldn't really walk around. But I heard about all these really great things. And one of them, here's one of those fairy houses, but it's huge. So I'm gonna walk around where these folks are coming and see how many of these fairy houses I can see. Because so far it looks pretty cool. Okay, so I've made it to another marker here, and so I'm gonna go over to this bench. So I've made it, just walking on the Homestead Trail, and I made it to this little junction right here. Now I'm gonna go up towards this grave site. That'll be cool. So that means I'm gonna walk up that way. All right. Okay, I already forgot. So, whoa, I almost fell too. So it is just past 1 o'clock. It's like 1:06. I discovered an app that I'm using to mark how far I walk and how long it takes me. So right now, I just checked it. It says it's been 43 minutes. However, I did come here and I talked with the Mr. Brian, and I went to the visitor center and got a pass, and I've been walking around the visitor center, and I just got out here, so I've been walking around a lot. So the time isn't really accurate with my filming. However, I will give you guys at the end my mileage, I guess, how far I've walked. But right now I just passed by the grave site. That was pretty cool. It talked about the Creek Indians and how they used to be here, you know, hundreds of years ago. And one of the things that I like about this nature center is that it's made for both kids and adults, and I feel like that might sound kind of silly. But they have, like, there's one over here. They have all of these like signs, and at every end of the paragraph that's on these signs, it asks you questions. So like, a standing dead tree called a snag is an oasis in the woods. Snags provide food, homes, and a gathering place. Who enjoys a snag? So you can kind of kids can kind of interact with it, and they have these all along the trail. And so there's all of these snags that are down right here, fallen, broken down trees, dead trees. And you can kind of sit here and watch and interact. So just watch a snag and see who comes to visit. Look closely at a snag for an insect or tracks or holes. Examine the ground for footprints, chewed nuts, or wood shavings. So that's really, really cool. So you can come down here. You can see how all the wood's broken apart. You can come over here and see that holes have been made for other insects. And I know I've said in previous videos, you'll see a lot of fallen down trees, like they have a lot down here. But as a nature center, we don't get rid of those trees because, like that sign said, they act as homes and habitats and a learning experience. So we don't want to get rid of that experience for people or for animals. And not just animals, but plants too. Gosh, that is a green log. So I've made it back out to where I started. I don't think I filmed this sign, but I walked across this bridge and I stood under the awning over there. So for this video, I guess I'm not gonna worry too much about the map and where I am. The whole thing was maybe a mile, maybe just over a mile. It wasn't long or far at all. It's really hard to get lost. So I'm not gonna worry about being tedious with the map and the trails, as there are a handful of trails out here, but they all connect at some point, and half of it I couldn't really walk. So I wouldn't worry about it. If you're gonna come out here, even if you're not like an avid hiker, you'll do fine for sure. So I'm on my way back out. I'm gonna see what else I can explore around here, and I will definitely fill you in because it's pretty neat. All right, so I found a new trail. Earlier in the video, I came across this really big blue door. That was the first fairy house that I saw. And then I looked at the map for a minute and went right. And that took me on the Homestead Trail and the Forest Trail and that Kingfisher Trail that had the blue blazes on it. So I now got back to that sign, and now I'm taking a left and I'm gonna go around Beaver Pond. I also want to continue on with my experiment, as I am new to film. So I want to ask a question to kind of keep the experiment going of my film, if you guys have made it this far in the video. So if you could go hike at any place in Georgia, where would you go? I want to have some recommendations. I know there are only so many places I can go to film and hike in my city around here. So you guys let me know. Maybe I can go there and I can film, and I can share your favorite. And if you do comment and I do go there, I'll give you a nice little shout out. So that'd be cool. So just let me know. Drop it in the comment down below, and I'll definitely put it on the list. So I want to take a moment and I want to talk to you about this water bottle that I have. So I haven't had this in previous videos, but I've just kind of obtained it in the past week or so. My sister and I went to hike at Yonah Mountain. We were walking up there and we found this wedged in between these two ginormous rocks. And when we first saw it, I thought it was a part of some kind of like geocaching kind of thing, which was super cool. But it was able to budge out. And it turns out, I guess someone might have just stuck it there, or maybe it got stuck by itself, they couldn't get it out. So instead of leaving it there, I'm kind of upcycling it into my trash bucket. So when I find garbage on the trail, I can go and put it in here. And then when I find a trash can, I can just dump it out. So I'm kind of using a trash to pick up trash to save our woods. Alright, so I just got done. I went back through the Discovery Center and the Visitor Center and I bought some stuff. I got a book, which I'm really excited about. I was talking with the people at the front desk about how much I enjoyed my time here. This is literally some of the most fun that I've had. With just me being like a nerd, you know, I want to learn so much and there's so many opportunities to do that, to learn, and there's so much to experience. It didn't take me a long time to walk most of the trails. They're working a lot on making their center here better, and it really shows. So I want to thank Chattahoochee Nature Science Center for allowing people to come and experience all that they've done. They've done a great job. Come check it out, honestly. I was telling them about the channel that I do, and usually I have like pros and cons, but I really haven't had any cons. Like, this is a really great experience for me. So come and check it out. It's in Roswell, Georgia. But yeah, I'm gonna go home. I got a book and some stickers. I'll put the stickers on my car for sure. And I got this book about trees, so it's gonna be super exciting. But you guys come check it out. All right, guys. So that's all for me today. Hope you guys have a good one, and I will check in with you guys in the next one. See you later. Alright guys, so before I close out today, I wanted to remind you to go check out my sister's channel. If you're looking for some simplicity in your life, her channel is perfect for you. It's all about living the simple life, eating simply, being out in nature, and just not making things complicated. So it's very fitting that her channel name is called Uncomplicated. So go check it out and let her know that I sent you, alright?